My name is Ken Stoddart. I'm the VP of Sales and Marketing for Crowdsource.
So, I mean, this is really, you got Super Mario over there.
Yeah.
This is just really awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about what it's like to work here?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously the office has a unique look and feel to it.
Sure.
You know, one of the things that they really, that our founders really wanted to emphasize is, a comfortable working environment where people could, out in the normal working floor, there's a bunch of people that are working very hard and long hours, and this is just really a place to put it aside for a little bit, to come in and play pool or play some foosball or ping pong or watch a baseball game, grab a drink, whatever it is, because it is a demanding environment, and we're asking a lot of our employees, and we, in return, we really want to provide them with an atmosphere where they can unwind a little bit. There's a lot of time spent here, really working into what our corporate goals are. The office allows, the environment allows us to give back a little bit and allow them to have some fun. And you guys have been here for a little while, and you saw all the traffic in and out, and people really do take advantage of this space. So it's just another way to give back. We're always trying to attract top talent here, and one of the really one of the features of working at Crowdsource is the environment that we're trying to create. So the culture is very, very important to the talent that we're trying to bring in, and it's important. It's an important part of our work lifestyle here. So
now, you didn't start out at Crowdsource. You came from another. What industry did you come from?
Yeah, so I came from the security background, internet security. I worked for VeriSign for in a family of their companies, and just most recently Symantec acquired VeriSign last year. So I was in the VeriSign family for 12 years, believe it or not, so a long time. And the opportunity to come to Crowdsource was something that when it was presented to me, it was something that I really jumped all over. The passion, the culture that we talked about. The industry in general is still in its infancy, and there's endless amounts of opportunities to grow with this company. So, from a personal perspective, I really wanted to challenge myself. After being in the security space so long, I really was able to learn a lot and just put together a long resume of a lot of the different experiences. And this allows me to take that experience and bring it to a young organization and see what we can do here in a startup environment. So.
And they're pretty different fields. So
yeah, they are different fields. It's been a challenge to get up to speed, no question about it. It is a different field. I became very up to speed on the security space, being in there for so long. But yeah, this has challenged me to get up to speed in a completely new industry. But that's the fun of it. One of the great parts about coming to work here every day is that I don't know it all anymore. I'm trying to learn. We've surrounded ourselves with a team of really educated, smart thinkers in the crowdsourcing environment. So, I'm just trying to learn from them, as well as I'm trying to pass on some of my business experience down to the rest of the team. So, it's been a challenge. It's been a welcomed challenge for me to start my thought process over again, and I've really enjoyed it. So.
Now, it's a new industry, so there's a lot of buzzwords floating around. How would you define crowdsourcing?
Yeah, crowdsourcing is a new industry, and one of the biggest challenges is really defining it. And we have we have a couple ways of trying to define it. Obviously, it's distributing tasks or work to a crowd of workers. We try to define it as breaking jobs or tasks into micro tasks and distributing to a qualified group of workers that can, in return, provide results for what the end user is looking for. So, crowdsourcing is a new term. It is a buzzword. We're very fortunate to have crowdsource.com as our company name. But yeah, we're really, where we work is, distributing work to large groups of qualified workers that we've put through a qualification process to make sure that we understand what they're good at, so that when we're working with our clients, we can distribute work, get great results back, and everybody's happy.
And what's it like selling to your clients and trying to bring them in? Do you find that they're still new, or?
Yeah, it's. I really have broken it down into two different phases. There's the client that is familiar with crowdsourcing or has tried it in the past, or they're familiar with Amazon's Mechanical Turk, which I'm sure we'll talk about more. we're exclusive to Amazon's Mechanical Turk, but there's that subset of customers or prospects that are familiar or have used crowdsourcing in the past, and then there's that whole other segment of prospects that have no idea about crowdsourcing or its capabilities. So there's the selling process it's educational. You're getting into conversations with people who may know very little or nothing at all about crowdsourcing and what its capabilities are, and you come away from those conversations 30 or 45 minutes later with 10 or 12 different action items based on the conversation. So I really do enjoy that piece of it. It's talking about, it's evangelizing about a service that is very new, and what comes from those conversations is really several great opportunities. So that's a nice part about it, for sure.
Would you find that the majority of the customers are still kind of feeling the way
Yeah,
through?
I'm still trying to really break it apart. I mean, the majority of the customers, I would say, are not familiar with crowdsourcing. When we go to a show like we did last week in San Francisco, the Search Engine Strategies Conference, you're talking to a lot of SEO specialists or search engine marketing specialists, and that particular market, most of them are familiar with crowdsourcing. And so in that type of environment, we really have to figure out how to differentiate our services from whether it be our competitors or different sorts of outsourced solutions. But our crowdsourcing model, we do have differentiators, and I talked a little bit about how we qualify our workforce and how we take care of our workforce and how our workers like to work for us. Those are just a few of the differentiators that we talk about, and that really piqued a lot of interest at the show last week.
Let's clarify outsourcing and crowdsourcing.
Yeah.
Is that a concern that a lot of customers have?
Well, it's certainly, outsourcing is a term that it raises eyebrows because there was always an issue with quality.
Sure, absolutely.
And outsourcing is a massive industry. Crowdsourcing is a new way of a form of outsourcing, if you will. It's we like to define it as outsourcing or crowdsourcing work to a qualified group of individuals or workers that have experience doing what they're good writers, they're good at different types of tasks that are useful for crowdsourcing. So outsourcing, obviously a huge industry. That's not what we're in necessarily. All of the majority of our workers are here in the United States, and we're qualifying them so that we're not just distributing work to anybody and everybody. We really know who we're crowdsourcing it to.
Sure. Now, can you explain a little bit about how that qualification process?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of different types of jobs that you can utilize crowdsourcing for. So within the Amazon Mechanical Turk network of roughly 500,000 plus workers, we try to hyper specialize or even narrow down that group into folks that we've done some profiling of. We know what their skill sets are. We know what they're good at. We know what sometimes they may not be good at. So we can take that and after understanding our customers' needs, distribute work to the folks that we know that are good at providing quality results in that particular area. So they have to go through, with regards to writing, they have to go through some very strict grammar tests, and then an editorial review process, and different levels of editing and a feedback process, so that we know, basically what we're getting before we even distribute the work to them.
In terms of customer needs, what would you say the most common one is?
Well, right now for sure for us it's content creation. There's so many different areas and we don't want to limit ourselves to content creation, and we're not. Here at Crowdsource, it's just something right now that it is a driving factor. Content is something that companies need. They want to be competitive in search rankings. They want to have unique content. They need it.
We're talking pictures, videos, all kinds of
Yeah,
content.
both. I mean, so pictures of pictures, descriptions, or product descriptions. Product descriptions seems to be a big one because there's so many online retailers that have these massive portfolios of products that they, right now they're either depending on manufacturers' product descriptions, which can be vague or somewhat, they're not optimized for SEO results. They write in-house, which can be costly. So for us, just going in and recommending that as a kind of an entry solution where content, everybody needs fresh content and product descriptions. That's where we're making a lot of headroads there. We're not, like I said, we're not limited to that by any means. We're actually, we enjoy the even more specialized or customized work that that can be done using our scalable workforce platforms and Mechanical Turk.
Can you give me a case study?
Yeah.
Just a happy, satisfied client that's come through.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of them. I mean, it's like I was explaining to you earlier. You know, you have to be very sensitive when you talk about customers because a lot of them are using crowdsourcing as a way to differentiate. You know, we just did one of the ones that I like to talk about is cubicles.com, which is honestly it's a website that focuses on selling office cubicles, and
very exciting stuff.
Well, yeah. But you know what? The funny thing is we distributed. We needed this gentleman and his business. They needed unique content to try to differentiate. And, a lot of optimization work going on for Google, and so our writers who have obviously no experience whatsoever writing about cubicles are able to provide excellent descriptions just based on looking at pictures and different product manufacturers' descriptions and turning them into very useful data that when you go and you're looking for cubicles, you're going to be like, this is a great place to buy them from. It seems like they know a lot more, they have a lot better information. So that's one of the case studies that we always talk about. But it really, we've got a lot of customers that use us in the content space that are like I said, using us to differentiate by having unique content solutions and that are scalable. They could use it. They might need 10,000 product descriptions next week, and then they don't need any for 3 weeks, and then another 10,000. And that's the beauty of this crowdsourcing model is that the flexibility and the scalability of it is you don't have to have those resources in house all the time. We don't require you to have certain quantities every week or month or anything. The idea is that when the work is there, you can distribute it to the crowd. You quickly get results back. It's economically feasible, and the quality is there, and that's that is one of the biggest things that we want to address, and that where we differentiate ourselves is the quality of the work that we're producing is consistent, and customers are happy, and that's a big point for us.
Can you tell me about some of the ways that you measure the quality of it?
Yeah. So quality. We go through obviously this recruitment process for writers. So we, obviously understanding what their capabilities are up front so that we're distributing work to them that we know that they're capable of doing, as opposed to just distributing work to a broad range of workers who we may or may not know what they're good at. So we first qualify by doing that, and then just the editorial review process. So we know that some of our great writers have turned into editors, and then some of our great editors have turned into kind of our next tier of editors who kind of look over the editing work. So it's just a multi-tiered process, making sure that the writing style guides are followed properly and that our quality is consistent. And so yeah, that's kind of the process we go through.
In terms of customer concerns, would you walk me through a couple that they might have about jumping into this space?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we talked about earlier is kind of teaming up that word crowdsourcing with outsourcing. So that's always a concern with people that are new to the idea of crowdsourcing. The concerns that we all run into are that. So it's kind of educating them on crowdsourcing, as a concept in general. And once you're able to get over that hurdle, the second, the other concerns that come up are related to quality again. Obviously, you want to make sure that when you're paying for a service like this, that what you're getting in return meets your needs, and that the quality is there, because it's typically going to be used on your public-facing websites or something like that. So quality is always a concern. Other concerns are related to copyright rules and stuff like that. But
do you have a check in place to make sure there's no?
Absolutely. Our scalable workforce platform has copyright controls involved. It's part of the process for us, so we're very much in line with that.
Now, in terms of a customer coming to you for the first time, there's a lot of education involved.
Yeah.
What would you say would make them a satisfied customer going through the process? What would they expect, and how do you meet those expectations? Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, and this is what we do right now with our customers is, results have to work, so going into a new model using crowdsourcing, and then, our sales process typically begins with really understanding a customer's needs. So that's why you can't, you necessarily just go to our website, get a price, and buy it, because we really want to dig deep into what the customer needs. So, once we have those discussions with the customer and define what they're looking for and what outputs they're looking for, we'll actually go do the work using Mechanical Turk and the results come in, and then it goes through that editorial review process that I spoke of, and then the customer, that's what makes them happy. That they're obviously getting work and results that they can make use of at the end of the project. So we take a lot of pride in that. That's what we're not just we don't just close business and move on to the next deal. It's not our strategy. We really want to be a partner to these end users who are either using crowdsourcing for the first time or have used it in the past unsuccessfully. We want to make sure that their experience, not only with the crowdsourcing model in general, but using Mechanical Turk, is a positive one. So.
When you say the crowd, how would you define the crowd for potential customers?
So that's the crowd is this like I mentioned earlier. It's our crowd is the Mechanical Turk crowd, the 500,000 hyper specialized workers that that are good at different tasks. They can do them quickly and economically, and they are good at them. So we distribute our jobs or hits or human interactive tasks to this group of this large group of people that are out there using the internet as their workforce. And that's how we kind of define the distributed network of people out there available to do work on the internet. Yeah.
In terms of the Mechanical Turk platform, how do you interact with it on a day-to-day basis? Is it as simple as recruiting and job posting and hiring? Can you walk me through that process?
Yeah. So we communicate with with the workers all the time through the forums and through our software itself, and just constantly, feedback is a great piece of the relationship with the workers that are doing your work. We don't typically tell people, that they, or just reject people. We really don't like that word at all. We really like to work with our workers to make sure that we can help them improve and become more efficient at tasks and follow the writing guidelines and so on and so forth. So we work very closely with communicating with them, whether it be email or through our software platform or through, like I said, the forums, where we're very active on an everyday basis.
Now, Crowdsource is brand new, So where do you see you guys going in the next 6 months?
Yeah, well, I see us, we're going aggressively after the space. I mean, the crowdsourcing, it's, like I said, it's still in its infancy. We're building our team aggressively from a sales and marketing standpoint, and even more importantly, from a development standpoint internally, where we can continue to enhance our software. But we plan on making some noise, if you will, in the crowdsourcing environment with our, not only continuing to leverage our relationship with Amazon and Mechanical Turk, but to, we want to win some big customers. That's what we're here for, and that's what I'm hiring my team for. Is we are going, we're going in and we're going to hope to solve problems, and in return win some big customers out of it. So, and that's really started with the launch, the official launch of our crowdsourced brands last week.
Now, in terms of recruiting, because it's a new industry, what do you look for?
Yeah, I mean, so that's a multifaceted question, because on the sales side, obviously, there's not a lot of crowdsourcing specific sales talent out there, and that wasn't my background either. What we're looking for is we're looking for experience in selling and technology or SEO or some, but we're also looking for a cultural fit, a team player, the work ethic that's required to work here. I mean, this team is composed of very highly motivated people that have a specific goal in mind, and we're looking for people that want to be part of that, want to be part of this environment, and share the passion that we come to work and do every day. So, with that, obviously, experience is critical. We're not just hiring people because they like our office, or that's important, but it's not. We are building a business here, so we're from a sales standpoint, we are actively hiring the right people, and I have that right person definition in my mind, and we're interviewing every single day to find the right people, and we're growing, and we'll continue to grow. So
you guys just launched. So I mean, what's that been like? What have you guys done?
It's been great. Last week was our official launch. We went out to the Search Engine Strategies Conference, like I mentioned, in San Francisco, and we just finished a rebranding from our Scalable Workforce name to Crowdsource.com. So moving forward, Crowdsource.com is going to be the name of our company. Scalable Workforce is going to be the name of our software solution. So we're going to continue to leverage both brands, and it's a great fit. I mean, we experienced it firsthand last week. To be one of the new vendors at a decent sized show like the SES conference, our booth was packed. We had 5 of us out there, and not only we had some lead generation goals that we were able to accomplish, but just the energy that was everybody wanting to know what we were all about and what we were doing. And we had, like I said, we launched just last week with a press release about the new name and stuff. So it was a fantastic show for us. It was a great learning experience for some of our employees that haven't had the opportunity to spend a lot of time in a public-facing environment like that. So the launch is really exciting. I think it propels us into the next step of where we are as a company and where we're going. So it was a lot of hard work that went into getting ready for that launch. The team really came together, and with our new website, which is looks fantastic. At least I think so, and I know the rest of our team does. But we're just we're really excited. Now we're moving into the real growth stage for Crowdsource.com, where selling is we're going to be out there knocking on doors, trying to identify opportunities, trying to identify solutions too for these big companies that need a scalable crowdsource solution. So, but no, thank you very much for allowing us this opportunity to talk with you about it today and share our passion for what we're trying to do here. So,
That's no problem.
yeah. All right.
Thanks for watching The In Crowd on crowdsourcing.org. I'm your host, Brandon Mendelson. We'll catch you soon.